Welcome to Proust My Startup, the podcast that offers you a glimpse at the personalities of the people that make the local startup ecosystem in Malaysia. I'm Vanessa Muledus, aka Brand Shifu with an H on Instagram, the founder of North Branding Consulting Boutique Agency. I'm a brand strategist, 24/7 immersed by the sides of entrepreneurs, startups, and SME founders. As a brand consultant, a mentor, but also an entrepreneur program facilitator, an investment jury, and a business angel. In Proust My Startup, I want to really discover who are the people that make our local startup ecosystem. Because I'm a brand strategist, I want to understand how their personal brand might influence or shape the corporate brand of their organization. Today's episode is recorded from CloudMile's Center of Excellence in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Startups thrive on innovation, and CloudMile is here to fuel that journey. As a leading AI and cloud technology company in Asia, they help businesses drive digital transformation and growth, leveraging machine learning, big data, and cloud solutions. With a team made up of certified technical experts and a strong network of technology partners, including being one of just 40 Google Cloud Managed Services providers globally, CloudMile has supported more than 1,200 companies through consulting, technical, and managed services. I've seen it firsthand with my own mentees, tech startup founders. The Center of Excellence in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, now offers startups a collaborative space to explore generative AI, data management, security, and more, and advance their digital competitiveness with cloud and AI adoption. So if, like them, you want to experience it yourself, visit today my.cloud.
Now, back to our episode. Today's guest is Lakshman Das Asogan, Chief Revenue and Co-founder at Lapasar, a supply chain technology startup for SMEs. So buckle up and let's take a deep dive.
So welcome, Lakshman. Glad to have you on board of this Proust My Startup podcast, and thanks for responding positively to my invitation.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you on board. So Lakshman, he's pretty well known actually in the startup ecosystem. One, because Lapasar is his company. He's one of the 4 co-founders. And 2, because Lapasar, he's a one-of-its-kind personality. He's the chief revenue of Lapasar. And when it comes to sales, I don't think there are 2 people like him in the ecosystem. So driven. I invited, not Lapasar, Lakshman, over to give a talk to my entrepreneurs, one of the groups I am facilitating. And it was full lessons for everyone. Because Lakshman is so driven, he has such an approach to sales that it's always a lesson here. So I wanted to know, what is it behind the professional here? How come you have such an approach to sales? And I feel it's rooted into Lakshman's deep personality. So that's the background of why I invited Lakshman, especially from Lapasar, amongst the co-founders that are his co-founders. And I hope that we will discover more about you from a very much more personal way now.
For sure.
Yeah?
For sure. Yeah.
All right. So first question is, have you ever heard of the Proust Questionnaire?
Sorry?
Yeah. Which is normal. It's the human reaction. So I guess it's a no.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
So Proust Questionnaire. So Proust is the name of a French philosopher and writer from the late 19th century, early 20th. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, Proust, he kind of popularized a game that was based on personal questions, 35 questions.
Mm-hmm.
And he popularized that as an indoor game for the intellectual and aristocratic circles. These questions, those are the questions you're going to go through today. The very same 100 plus years questions, okay? And you will see that it's pretty universal and timeless because most of them, they still resonate with us today. And so my take on it is we are in modern society and I'm living 24/7 with the most tech people ever. So the most stretched, let's say, between Proust and today is those people of the ecosystem, I felt. So today, you're going to go through those 35 questions as well. Proust, back then, he believed that those questions would reveal the personality, the true nature of the individual.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm very curious. Anybody has known what Proust...
No, So Proust, one guest did know because he's big into philosophy and stuff like
Okay.
this. But the Proust Questionnaire, 0 guests so far.
Okay.
Which makes sense. I mean, Malaysia, France is a bit far away,
Yep,
you know,
yep, yep.
and my history is very different from your history, which I'm glad. So that's why I never give away what it is, all the questions, because it's always a revelation for everyone. And it's, very interesting questions, in my opinion, to ask ourselves in this period of time that we're living. So you ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, question number 1. What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Very deep questions. Yeah?
That starts. It's
What is
standard
what
here.
is my idea of perfect happiness? I think perfect happiness to me would be to do what I like, and let me try and imagine this. This is a very tough question. I've never asked myself what is perfect happiness.
I know.
Perfect happiness would be, honestly, at this point, I think what's perfect happiness is for me to go into a Monday, not knowing that I have to work 8
Yeah.
hours
I was thinking about
and
that. Yes.
firefight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at this point, that's
Time for yourself. Yes.
That's perfect happiness
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is very much like startup ecosystem, I think. Having some time for yourself, just
Correct.
like clearing your mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always had that imagination that on a Sunday evening, people are ready to get to work.
Yeah.
And I would always thought, what if I was going for a holiday on a Monday while everybody else was going to
True.
work?
True.
So that's happiness to me at this point.
Nice. And I
If I
can
could do
relate.
that.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. You're so many people like this in the ecosystem, unfortunately, somehow, because, we know the startup life, what it is,
Yeah, yeah.
demanding. So, okay. Now, what is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear is to fail. I think mediocrity, right? In that sense,
Yeah.
to not make it in life would be my greatest fear. I think.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the trait you most deplore in yourself? So you really don't like?
I am very impulsive, and sometimes it works against me. Yeah.
I understand.
So that's one trait that I dislike about myself.
Okay. So now what is the trait you most deplore in others?
That's strange, but impulsiveness.
Same.
Because while I said that it has done bad things to me,
Yeah.
a lot of times it has done good things to me too. In a lot of instances in my life, actually.
Okay.
So going for it, not thinking too much. I think you call that impulsive, right?
Yeah.
So impulsiveness also is something I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, which living person do you most admire? And it can be someone we know or someone close to you.
I think my parents, particularly my mother,
Mm-hmm.
that is the person that actually shaped a lot of what we do today in terms of career, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is the person who inspired a lot of the things we're doing today.
Nice. And for the story, Lakshman, you have one brother, 2 brothers.
Yes,
as
one
co-founders.
older brother.
Yeah.
We are both co-founders.
Yes.
My younger brother is also, he just joined us actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's all 3 of
nice.
us in the company.
Oh, there you go. See the parents? Are they entrepreneurs themselves?
Oh, who? My parents?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
My mom, I mean, yes, I would say my mom is, she has done a lot of things over the years, ventured into small businesses. But my
Okay.
dad was basically in the working force.
Okay, so your mom, maybe this is where it comes from.
Yeah, it was my mom.
Nice. All right. Now, what is your greatest extravagance?
My greatest extravagance, I would think it's my confidence.
Okay.
I tend to front things with so much of blind confidence, even though I don't know the subject matter.
Yeah.
I would just go into it and I will face it. So I think that is my extravagance.
That explains a lot about how you approach the sales, and
Yeah.
how you're just like boom
Yeah.
driven. I know it's that it's very efficient system. Okay, interesting. So now, what is your current state of mind?
As in right now?
As in right now, or as in just in general, the
General.
moment?
I'm constantly thinking because in terms of career, we're in a stage where we are, I would say, in a crossroad of how do we approach things. So
Yep.
a lot of thinking,
Okay.
wondering. So that's my current state of
Yep. About
mind.
Lapasar.
Yep.
Yep.
About the company.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand why. Yeah. What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Mm, most overrated virtue. Can you give me an example? What do you mean by?
For instance, I was mentioned to another guest, the CEO of Revolut. He recently said something about kindness at work. That for him it was an overrated virtue. That you didn't need that. What was mattering to him is performance. So for him, it's overrated virtue. Just an example, and that is in the context of work, but it could be in the general context.
Okay.
So something that everyone says you have to be like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
but you don't feel it's so important.
I think a common thing that I've heard over the years, right, was to be strategic. I think that's an overrated virtue.
Okay.
Things are a lot simpler than
Yeah.
we thought it is. So
True.
that's my view.
Okay. Now, what do you most dislike about your appearance, if anything?
Oh,
It's,
my
it's a tough
appearance.
one.
Huh?
Maybe you're super happy with yourself, which is great, and that's an answer.
Let me see. Mm, lately, I started balding.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Well, you're so young. Is it?
At the back.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
That is a man
that
thing. I
bothers
think,
me a
yeah?
lot because I used to tell my older friends. In fact, my co-founders, two of them are older than me,
Yeah.
and I was much younger.
Oh yeah.
I used to mock them for their balding, and today I am
There you go.
one of those.
I know. I used to do
So,
that
yeah.
with my mom. She was so not the balding thing, but mocking her on how she would forget things. Like, Mom, can you bring me, something from there when you return? She goes there, she returns, and not even realizing she doesn't even know she had something to bring back. And I was like, seriously, blah, blah. And now it's my turn. So yeah, the mocking aspect, and now it's your turn. I
Yeah.
can relate. It's not so cool. Yeah. So
So that-
balding. Yeah.
Balding.
But you can have remedies, especially here in Malaysia. You
Yeah,
have good
but
aesthetic
I
clinics.
I heard it's painful.
Oh, is it?
The
Oh, yeah, it's
the
the head.
planting
Yeah,
of
maybe.
Yeah, it's painful.
Sure. What is not, I
I
would say,
hope
in
I
that
don't get
space, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, now, which living person do you most despise? So, back then in those circles, I believe they would drop names, really. But now it's social media. Even if this community of audience here is little for now, still you don't want to name people. So it might more be which kind of living person you are not really liking.
Which kind? Yeah.
Yeah. That is someone you would really stay away from.
I think somebody who's constantly judgmental. When you say A, they say
Yeah,
something else,
yeah.
right? I mean, it's okay to say something else, but being judgmental and a person who always says, no, this is not doable, is somebody I would try and avoid.
Especially
most
in the
times.
context of startups.
Yeah.
Not doable,
Yeah.
you don't want to hear.
Even in personal life,
Yeah, yeah.
you say you're going for a holiday and
Yeah.
let's do it, and they kill the bus immediately. So those are the kind of people I would
True,
try
true.
to.
Yeah. Understand.
Yeah.
So now what is the quality you most like in a man, as in gender man?
What's the quality that I must
Like the quality you most like. Yeah.
I think not neglecting your responsibilities is so responsibilities.
Yeah. Okay. And the same question for women. What is the quality you most like in a woman?
Her patience.
Okay. Yeah. Now, which words or phrases do you most overuse if you are aware of it?
Must overuse, yeah. Lately, push.
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 Salesman.
Yeah.
Push. Okay.
Yeah.
At work, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At work, which most hours of the day I'm at work.
Yeah. True. And not just the day, I believe, like late in the night as well.
Yeah.
All right. What or who is the greatest love of your life?
My wife. My wife is definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll be happy to hear about it. When and where were you the happiest?
When and where?
Mhm.
So when is definitely on a working day.
Okay.
Where? Anywhere in an island somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like islands. Yeah.
Are you coming from an island here in
No. I
Okay.
don't. Yeah, but
But you like
the
it?
feeling of being in an island on a holiday on a weekday
Yeah.
makes me feel good. As I said
On
earlier,
a
that
weekday. Yes,
on a
yes,
weekday.
yes, yes, yes. It's so much different from it's
Exactly.
normal, you
Yeah.
have free time, you can go. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So against the stream, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Okay. So now, which talent would you most like to have?
Just like to have talent.
Yeah. That you might maybe touch on, but you are not nailing it at all, or you don't have at all, and it's just like a dream or a wish.
I think software development,
Yeah. Okay.
because I feel like I'm never in control of it.
Mhm.
Whenever these are personal experiences,
Yep.
right? When we are rushing to develop something that we really need for the business, then you have got your tech team who's answering you with technical
Yeah.
stuff,
Yep.
which you barely understand. So I think I always wanted to know that better, and that's a
Mm.
skill I would want to have,
Yeah, I
if
perfectly
possible, to
understand.
develop it myself and get things going.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, at least you understand what you're
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Yep.
So software development, yeah.
Okay. Now, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
To be more present, so that I get to focus on things,
Okay.
because I seem to
So
be
more in the
wandering
moment, you mean?
more in the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah. I
Okay.
think that's something I would need right now.
Okay. Now, what do you consider your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement is the company.
Yep.
It's definitely my company. If you're asking me personally, I think my greatest achievement would be the way I had pushed my own limits over the years.
Mm.
When I turn back and look,
Yep.
10, 12
Other
years
youngster,
ago,
yeah.
and now, where I have pushed myself to become it's crazy. It's a lot that I've pushed myself. So I think I'm proud of that
Yeah,
achievement
yeah. I
personally.
believe this is really, how to say, specific to the startup world,
Yeah.
especially as a founder,
Yeah.
because you're thrown at so many things unexpected,
Yeah.
and you have to survive.
That's
So
right.
you have to stretch yourself so much, and only when you can do that, you can survive. Others, well, they just go out of business or out just of entrepreneurship, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. So yeah, I can imagine that you have stretched yourself
Yeah.
quite a lot
Yeah.
already.
So the company is an outcome of stretching ourselves,
Exactly,
right? At
exactly.
the end of the day.
And stretching at the same time as well as your co-founders, which is
Yes.
another challenge because you're four.
That's right.
So it's not
Yeah.
just about you here. So
Correct.
yep, good achievement here indeed. Now, if you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be?
Definitely not as a thing. Let me see. I think a dog.
A dog? Yeah.
Um,
Why that?
every morning when I leave for work, the way my dog is sleeping,
Ah.
I mean, that really makes me so want to go back to bed, right? And when I look at my pet, at my dog, he's got nothing much to worry about.
That's true. That's true.
You
And
know?
he can survive by himself even if you're
Exactly.
not around.
Yeah.
Indeed.
He's
That's
chilled
true.
out, and
Yeah.
he eats what you give him, and things are so chilled
True.
out.
It's
So
really the opposite of the founder. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So a dog
A dog. Okay, makes sense.
who has a owner.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the dog in the street is another
Correct,
level. I
yeah.
think it's the entrepreneur of the street here.
That's
so.
right.
Okay. So now, where would you most like to live? It can be an environment, can be a specific place.
Somewhere urban.
Okay.
I cannot live in remote areas.
Okay. Though you love islands.
Island is for a short period. I'm okay with
Okay.
a short
Understand.
getaway, right? But the environment I would prefer is somewhere with good accessibility, a lot of F&B joints. I
Yeah.
love food and beverage around
Hey,
me.
you're Malaysian, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the kind of environment I
Okay.
would
So
love.
convenient. Yeah.
Convenience,
And
yeah.
lively, I guess.
Yeah, lively.
Yeah. All right. Now, what is your most treasured possession? And by possession, it's not necessarily something material.
My most treasured. possession. Hmm. I would think I cannot think of something that I
It's
think
hard,
is,
yeah.
yeah, it's hard. Let me see. Treasured, my most treasured possession. I think the knowledge. We, I just thought about it, and I tell a lot of people about this. Um, Whether we make money or we don't make money, that's secondary. But this knowledge that we have received in the past 8 9 years, each of us, that's it's not replaceable by anything else.
That's
So
true.
I think that is the most treasured possession that I have.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. With that, you can go pretty much anywhere now.
That's right. Yeah, you
That's
can
true.
fail and you can restart all over again,
Yeah,
and with
yeah.
that same knowledge and experience.
Yeah.
So the knowledge, definitely.
Nice one. Now, what do you regard as the lowest depth of misery?
Lowest depth of misery. I can't even process this question, honestly.
So, what would you think is the saddest situation in life, if I put it more simply? But misery is another
Yeah.
level of sadness,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So deeper,
Mm,
like no hope anymore.
I think it's definitely losing my loved ones, my family, my immediate family, to be particular.
Yeah.
I think I will not be able to handle that.
I see.
Till I
Yeah.
face it. For now, that's how I feel it.
Yeah. And a lot of people have said so,
Yeah.
actually. Just like seeing loved ones very close, living
Yeah.
before themselves. Okay. Now, what is your favorite occupation?
I always wanted to become a chef
Oh, really? Nice.
because I love eating.
Yeah.
But that's why I use the word always wanted to, because now I realize that I only like eating.
Okay. Yeah. It's two different things, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So as I was growing up, while in that period where I didn't know what I was wanting to
Yes.
do, chef is something that I always thought culinary arts was what I
Okay.
wanted to do.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
But indeed, it's two different things. Yes.
Yeah, it is. I just realized it.
Okay. Now, what is your most marked characteristics?
The most apparent characteristics of mine.
Yeah. If someone that knows you would describe you in a one thing, what would that be?
Mm, outside of work, it's different.
Yeah.
At work, it's different.
True.
So which do you want to know?
You can do both.
I think at work, for sure, undoubtedly, it is a go-getter.
Yeah.
That's how I would be. The first thing that comes to mind. Targets.
Yes.
Outside of work, probably more of you mentioned me, and probably the first thing they would think is party. Let's
Okay.
have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think would
Okay.
come.
Yeah. Which you might not apply at work so much
Yeah.
because, well,
Correct.
you need to stay focused somehow. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Now, what do you most value in your friends?
Not expecting.
Okay.
It is. Yeah.
Unconditional. You mean?
Unconditional. Yeah.
Okay. Who are your favorite writers?
I don't.
You don't have
I don't.
genre, a specific genre?
I don't like reading.
Okay. You're a lot actually of founders like this.
Is
It's
it?
funny. Yeah. A lot of my guests, they have said exactly that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I'm one of the very few.
No, that's why I'm telling you that, because it's like now I'm thinking it might be something across the founders for a reason that I can't know. But so what do you read? Articles? Most likely business magazines?
I listen to
Okay.
podcasts
Okay.
once in a while, that too. But that's one of my weakness. I don't really read.
For what, lack of time, or
No, I
you don't
tend
like
to
it?
sleep off if I start reading or listening to
understand,
something.
yeah.
Maybe it's attention span.
Maybe.
Very less attention span.
Okay.
So that's something I wish to pick up anyway.
Yeah. Okay, understand. So the next question might not be in the realm of books, but who is your hero of fiction? So fiction can be comics, movies, myth,
Also none, So something you should know is that my wife, if she watches this, I'm sure she'll be laughing. When I go movies, I tend to sleep off.
Oh, really?
When I read books, I tend to sleep off. So so this part of my life,
Yeah.
I'm not very active in it actually. So I
Interesting.
don't watch things much. I
Yeah,
don't really
okay.
have like this, the superhero that I.
Yeah. Okay, but I find it difficult, this question,
Mm.
hero fiction, because hero is big meaning, you
Big
know?
meaning, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, I like this character, or
Yeah.
it's really like someone, if it was a real character, I could have relationship with, or I could identify with. It's a hard one, either if you read or watch movies, or So okay,
Lee Kuan Yew.
Lee
I
Kuan
love
Yew.
him.
Okay.
He's like a inspiration, and he brings that. There's one video that I watched when SIA was what to say. They were rallying against the government and whatnot. And he went on the stage in public and said that, it's either you buck up and get back to work, or I'm going to get all of this started from scratch again, and
Yeah.
I'll sack all of you, you
Yeah.
know? So that's the kind of...
It looks like some methods you shared about how you do with your teams, if I may.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, inspiration there then.
Yeah.
Okay. So a bit different here, still in the same vein. Which historical figure do you most identify with?
Sorry, again?
Which historical figure do you most identify with? And identify, I think it's
Yeah.
bearing a lot of meaning as well, but we can take it as more inspired by.
Historical figure.
Yeah. And if you don't have any name, maybe which kind of historical figures?
I definitely don't have a particular name that I would mention. But a kind, if you're talking about a kind, maybe would you consider Lee Kuan Yew as...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking maybe this would be your
this would
answer,
have been
actually.
my answer for this.
Yep,
Yeah, actually.
Okay, makes sense. Now, who are, so it might be the same actually, who are your heroes in real life?
In real life.
Yeah. And again, it can be someone known or someone close to you that is not famous.
Okay. Okay, I have to mention definitely my mom and dad. Not because I'm obliged to,
Sure.
but it's really because of things that I've absorbed from them over the years. And my brother, I would say, my older brother, my co-founder.
Yep.
I think he's been a very instrumental
Tinesh, yeah.
person. Yeah, Tinesh. He's another person that
Okay.
over the years have contributed to what I am today. So these are a few people that I would say are my pillars, my superheroes. Yeah.
Nice. Now, completely out of the blue, what are your favorite names? As in first names.
First names. I can't think of any. Wow, these questions are really
it's hard,
unique.
no? Yeah, you
So
see?
you did say it's unique. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. And still relevant, actually, because it's still something we can ask
Names that I
ourselves.
like. Let me see.
And I'm not sure this question because it's very different from the rest. So
Nothing
yeah,
comes out.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
okay.
pass this, I guess.
Yeah, it's okay. So the next is, what is it that you most dislike?
That I most dislike. I hate Sundays.
Really?
Yeah, I dislike Sundays, especially
I
after
relate.
it passes a certain time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for me it's Sunday nights.
Oh my God.
Same?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sunday
I think
nights.
it's rooted
cannot
in
stand Sunday nights.
schoolgirls. You know, when I was a schoolgirl, I think the perspective of the full week coming and when the sun starts to go down, that is my point in the week where I start to be feeling deep here, like melancholy or something, which I really don't like. It's so not me. And I don't know, there's a deep kind of depression somehow environment with a Sunday evening,
it's
you know?
something about it, right?
Yeah. But here I can tell in France, the Sundays, my age, so 46, in the 80s, Sundays, you didn't have anything because this is an official day where business can't open. And so for a long, long time.
Oh,
and so until recently, basically, Sundays, you can't do any business. And so Sundays were really like off days, like super quiet. Compared to here, Sundays, you can still do a lot of things, you know? So I feel here the Sundays are a little bit more manageable, I would say, compared to what I knew, when I was
Definitely.
a
I mean,
bit
here it's business are all running.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah. So
But it's
there's
just this
still life.
feeling that you don't want to even go out anywhere.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a weird thing.
No,
you know?
it's at
It's not a
least
real common.
people around me are like that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty cool. I'm glad to know.
Yeah.
Now, what is your greatest regret?
Greatest regret. Interesting. Let me see. I would think my greatest regret was to not be pursuing um, software development, actually. Because, when I was going into college, that period of time, computer science or software engineering, when you mention that, they would be like, this has no future,
Okay.
you know?
Are you so old?
No.
But still, it was that way.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
At least, I'm talking about easily I'm 31 now.
Yeah.
About 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's why I was
Yeah.
joking because I know you're
So-
not old, but
If I had chosen that field of study, I think it would have been a
yeah,
lot better.
yeah,
than-
yeah.
Even if
Back
I
to what
didn't
you were saying.
start this business,
Yes.
I think I would have been in a good place. I
Yeah,
tend to
yeah.
like software development a lot.
Indeed. So yeah, it's a missed walk of life, let's say
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
But it's never too late,
Yeah.
especially
my-
today.
Otherwise, I don't really have any big regrets in life. I think I've had a fairly everything sort of fell in place.
Yeah.
So I really don't have very big regrets, except that when I went to college, I could have done
Yeah.
something better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how would you like to die?
How would I like to die? In bed.
Yeah. Okay. Naturally, you mean?
Yeah, naturally. Quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not even knowing.
Not even knowing.
Yeah. Understand. Yeah. Latest question. 35. What is your motto or approach to life if you don't have a specific motto?
My motto in life is to take it easy, I think. Take it easy.
Okay.
Take
Which you're not.
I would think I'm not at work.
Yeah, not at work, yeah?
Not at work, but generally my approach to life would be to take things easy.
Okay.
That's actually in me, naturally in me, because at work things you have got responsibilities. You have got
Yes.
shareholders, investors who put in the money in you, right?
Yeah.
But outside of work, actually deep in me, that's what I am. I like to take things easy.
Nice.
I barely get angry. I'm very patient, in fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have really like a way to be at work
Yes.
somehow?
Yeah.
Due to the responsibility,
Yeah.
the role and all.
Yeah.
And not completely disconnected, of course, but somehow more easy
Yes.
in your personal life. So it's good balance, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So I
that's
think
nice.
you take it easy.
Take it easy. Okay. So we have reached the end of the Proust Questionnaire, 35 questions. How do you feel?
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Interesting question.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
You see? Very much of reflection
Yeah.
through that questionnaire, I feel. And not the kind of questions that we ever
ever
think of.
get
I think.
asked
Yeah.
in any interviews or
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
That's
the
for sure.
positioning of this Proust My Startup podcast.
This episode is also sponsored by Hippies, and I want to thank you for supporting this show. Hippies is the go-to talent partner for scaling up startups in Malaysia and across Southeast Asia. Whether you're building your first tech team or recruiting that game-changing head of growth, Hippies gets it done. They're not your typical recruiters. They are builders themselves, backed by real industry experience and a strong regional presence in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Hippies Tribe is fast, sharp, and human. They don't just fill roles. They help you build momentum. And if you're a candidate listening, trust me, they will help you find a role that feels right, not just one that looks good on paper. This is what I really value in Hippies. They come from the field, from the real startup ecosystem. They too know what building a startup or working in that fast-paced and demanding environment means. Like they say, Hippies is for the bold, by the bold. So check them out on hippies.com or drop them a DM on LinkedIn.
Okay, so now, after we have spoken about you, we want to know Lapasar a little bit more.
Okay.
Though you are everywhere in the media, of course, because rising star here. But I would like you to still do a 1-minute elevator pitch on Lapasar. It's been a long time, I think. You haven't done a 1 minute.
Yeah.
It's not your circle anymore, the 1 minutes, but
So Lapasar is a commerce fulfillment company where we've got a commerce front with merchants. It's a marketplace, and what we do is we serve all sorts of industries and all sizes of organizations, from large corporations right down to the smallest of SMEs in the country. Our goal is to serve them with cheaper prices and faster fulfillment. This is what we do as a business in a nutshell. So yeah, that's Lapasa. And we, over the years, I mean, we have expanded from, we started off actually with large corporate organizations. We said we can save you a lot of money through our technology itself, through the marketplace. It started off there, and 8 years later, today we have sort of completed the chain in terms of warehousing, distribution, and today we are handling from order taking right down to fulfillment for the smallest of organizations. For instance, a mom and pop store somewhere nearby your house would probably be buying from Lapasa. So that's what we do as a business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we will go much more into details,
Yeah,
but
sure.
still very foundational questions, because I'm a brand strategist. So those questions will be my way, which is foundational questions that we usually do in branding. The first one being, why, as an organization, Lapasar, are you on earth for? What is the deep why, the deep purpose here?
I think that's a good question. Yeah. I think our purpose here is to really fulfill the needs of clients, right, of our customers. Because, a lot of things that customers say, I have personally seen a lot of organizations that says that, these are things that probably they're simply saying, you don't need to address them. Right?
Yeah.
But deep down, we want to be able to address the smallest needs of a client. So I think we are here to serve every single need of our customers. That's the need that we are here for, I guess. Yeah.
Well, good. Now, what people do you want to resonate with? So what is your real core target?
You mean in terms of workplace, right?
Yes, in terms of business. Yeah.
in terms
You
of
being the
business.
organization now.
For sure, it would be anyone from a large conglomerate, corporate organizations. That's definitely one. I would think that.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point in time, that's who we need to be resonating with the most, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how different are you from your competitors?
Not very. And that's what we are working towards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So finding your edge, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's the crossroad that I was looking at.
Okay. Yep, understand. And honestly, in my field, this is what is lacking pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
How different, because otherwise you're just replaceable.
Yeah.
Glad that you're doing that exercise now. Next question will be, what do you promise to these people? So that target audience, the large corporations.
We promise to save them a lot of money.
Okay.
I think it's because we address a particular kind of group within the large organization. So we tackle more procurement professionals. And when it comes to procurement professional, it's about saving them a lot of cost. That's their main KPI.
Yes.
So our main promise to them is to save them a lot of money, and while at it, improving their processes and making it simpler for them.
Okay.
So that's our promise to these clients.
Pretty clear. All right. We have reached the end of the questions. So now I will give you the opportunity to share any hot news or anything that you want to share and that we haven't gone through.
Hot news. In terms of hot news, honestly, there's nothing special that's going on per se. But what we are working towards by 2028 or 2029 is hopefully to bring this company for a public listing. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
From now till then, till we hit say 2027 or 2028, that is our focus.
Okay.
Building bottom line,
Yeah.
making the business
Suitable for that kind
suitable
of
for that kind of
level.
level, right? Yeah. So that will be the focus. So honestly, there's nothing really new. There's a lot of experiments that are taking place of how can we build the profitability part of things, right? So it's I would not say there's anything new that's taking place. We're just focused, doing the same thing that we're doing and doing it better every other day.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's where the company is at this point in time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Now, where can we find you, Lakshman, and Lapasar online?
You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. My name on LinkedIn is, I think, Lakshman Asogan. We're available there. If you are looking to check out our app, then you can download it in iOS and Android. We're called Lapasar Borong. You can check us out. That's our mobile application. Otherwise, for website, you can check out www.lapasar.com.
Okay. And we'll put all the links on the YouTube channel as usual.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Lakshman.
Thank you
I
very
know
much,
your time is
Vanessa.
super precious, so I really appreciate that you could come here.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I had fun.
Great.